Welcome back to Speak for Yourself, presented by Hyundai. Jason Whitlock, Marcellus Wiley. All right, let's go out to Jim Jackson's crib and bring in Jimmy Jackson to talk some NBA. This segment brought to you by Ciroc Premium Vodka from fine French grapes. All right, CJ McCollum, Portland Trailblazers guard, made some interesting comments in an interview saying that 150 of the 450 NBA players live paycheck to paycheck. He, of course, was talking about the coronavirus and what would happen if the NBA season were canceled and what kind of financial strife NBA players might endure if something happens to the NBA. 150 of 450 players, that's a third of the league. Marcellus, you buying that?
Oh, yeah, I'm buying that. Matter of fact, I would buy that it's actually higher than 33%, being real, just based on my experience, whereas every year in the league, I would get probably on average 5 phone calls from teammates who couldn't budget their entire offseason. And then usually around June, you get that call, hey, man, can you float me a little bit till we get to our real paychecks in September? So, yeah, this is a real issue. Now, I do want to dispel that this is an athlete celebrity issue. I want to dispel that myth because this is just an issue of young people making an inordinate amount of money issue. If you're in your 20s and you're thrown hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, you're not properly prepared, most guys, for that situation. From going not just head of household, head of family, and so many pulls on you, that's what the real issue is. So if you start to look at it, my grandma used to always say that the fish is going to grow to the tank, to the aquarium. So when you're making hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars and you're young, you think you're going to make it forever, you think you have forever, everyone's pulling on you, it's pretty tough to really budget that amount of money. So in a world where the average American millionaire is 57 years old, that means people have learned and build their wealth and learn from their own mistakes. It takes a long time to understand everything that comes with the power of money, and these athletes are suffering, some of them as well.
You know, Marcellus, it's a great point that you made in regards to it's not just an athlete problem. But again, because we are athletes or former athletes, it's always going to be more in the forefront. So I'm going to follow up with that. I do believe what CJ is saying is true. Maybe the numbers may be a little different. He has I think, a pulse on the league and what's going on in today's world. And it may be more, it may be less, but it is a part of the dynamic of not just what I would say football, basketball, baseball, but all those sports in general, where especially young players have a difficult time budgeting. And to your point, Marcellus, here's the thing. People think all of a sudden that you get this money and now you're smart. You got to know how to invest. Well, a couple different things with that. One, you don't come from the background. I don't care if it's sports or somebody hits the lotto, somebody gets a really good job out of college. If you don't have the financial background and understanding how to invest, how to budget, how to save the money, how to do these things, and understand the language of finances, then you are going to struggle with an enormous amount of money at a quick period of time. I don't care if you're an athlete, if you're a regular Joe, I don't care what it is or who you are, you're not going to have the business acumen and the financial acumen to understand what's going on. You're going to make some mistakes with that. That's a part of growth. So it's always a tough dynamic, and I tell people all the time that now all of a sudden, like you said, Marcellus, you get thrown this money. Now you're making decisions for everybody. Everybody's coming to you for advice. People come to you for money. People come to you for a whole bunch of things. Now all of a sudden you're the smartest guy in the room. And really what you've done is just transferred over and got the biggest bank account. That doesn't mean that all of a sudden you have all the answers to everything else. And that's always been a challenge, not just, like you said, Marcellus, for athletes, but for people, young people who come into money all of a sudden at a young age.
Both of you have made tremendous points that I agree with wholeheartedly. Jim, that last point you made about you got the guy with the most money. And we do, I think, a lot equate, oh, you got the most money, you must be the smartest person. And no, what it might mean is that you're the most talented person. You have some unique gift that my brother is smarter than me, always was. He's more responsible than me. He didn't have my gift for talk and spit. He didn't have my gift for writing. He's an executive with Ford Motor Company. He can't make my money, but he's smarter than me. He's more responsible than me.
Right.
But people will say, oh, Whitlock, he makes X amount of dollars. He must be this smart. No, I like sports.
Yeah.
I know how to talk a little spit. I can write. I have a unique gift that's put me in a position to do this. The other thing, Marcel, is to your point that you made that I just want to expound on a little bit. Once you hit that NFL, NBA lottery, you become the patriarch of your family. You become the head of your family. And then a lot of these guys, and I don't want to generalize about all of them, but a lot of these guys, they didn't have a male role model patriarch. They've never seen someone be the patriarch of their family and know how to handle that. A lot of guys come from families dominated by their mom or grandmother, and they've seen a matriarch and how they operate, not how a patriarch operates. And so I agree with you. These young people, and we can pass judgment on them, and oh my God, they make all these awful decisions, and I would make X, Y, and Z decision if I were them. Nah, not if you were as young as them, given that much money, you felt invincible. You'd make a lot of the same decisions. And look, I'm not making excuses for these guys, but we have to deal with reality. And I just thought both of you made excellent points. Marcellus, you have more to add? Or?
Well, yeah, I just want to give everyone this illustration because when you say head of family, I think a lot of people think nuclear family. When I say head of family, I mean aunties, uncles. I'm talking about step cousins, like people you don't even know. You are in head of everyone. And just in short, when I got drafted, my two best friends, both of them graduated the same year. We all hit the workforce together. And they went to Wall Street, two of them, and I went to the NFL. Obviously, I made more than them in the beginning stages. But you know what dynamic started to work? They learned to work off of $70,000 a year, $90,000, $110,000. As they continued to grow, they were making more money, but their lifestyle was hardening around less money than myself. Mm-hmm. So what started to happen is when they really start making that big Wall Street executive money, it was all surplus, all bonus. They had got accustomed to a $100,000 lifestyle versus me, who was accustomed to a $500,000, $1 million lifestyle. Right. And then when you hit 32, retired me, and my boys are 32 making millions like I used to, they looking at me like, okay, you're going to be good, right? And I'm like, I'm good. But trust me, like CJ is trying to illustrate, not everybody's going to be good in that dynamic.
Yep.
All right, stick around. Don't go anywhere. We got a member of the NFL All-Decade team, Kansas City Chiefs star Tyrann Mathieu, joining the show from his crib. Nerds!